Sam Hauser's bold response shakes Boston's future. Something is happening inside the Boston Celtics locker room that fans aren't talking enough about. While most eyes are fixed on Tatum's recovery and the front office's next big financial move, there's a quieter, more emotional story that might redefine how this team handles pressure. It's about loyalty, resilience, and a player who refuses to be treated like a number on a spreadsheet. Before we dive in, hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the hype button so you don't miss any shocking Celtics updates coming this week. The 2025 offseason wasn't just another reshuffle of contracts. It was a test of identity. Boston had to navigate the brutal second apron restrictions while keeping a championship roster intact. Every contract, every name, every rumor suddenly mattered, and Sam Hauser's was at the center of it all. After signing a 4-year, $45 million deal in 2024, Hauser looked like a long-term piece. But when whispers started flying about potential trades involving Derek White, Jaylen Brown, and even Hauser himself, something unexpected happened. The sharpshooter, known for his calm and composure, finally let the world see what was underneath that quiet confidence. At Media Day, Hauser didn't hide behind cliches. He looked straight at the cameras and said what most players wouldn't dare to admit. "You try to block it out, but you really can't," he confessed, adding that he understood the business side but never lost gratitude for the team that believed in him when no one else did. And that's what hit fans the hardest. Because this wasn't just a statement, it was a reminder that behind every trade rumor there's a human being who's fighting to stay part of something special. But what does this mean for the Celtics moving forward? Could Hauser's raw honesty and loyalty influence how the front office approaches its next big decision? Boston fans know the value of a player who stays ready, who believes in the green even when the headlines don't. Hauser isn't just a role player anymore. He's become a symbol of commitment during one of the most uncertain stretches in franchise history. Statistically, he's proven himself again, averaging 8.5 points and over 3 rebounds per game, while shooting 41.6% from three, one of the best marks in the entire league. But numbers alone can't explain the energy he brings. When Hauser steps on the court, it's not just about hitting threes. It's about defying expectations, about showing that even in a season filled with uncertainty, Boston's core remains unshaken. And now, the question every Celtics fan should be asking is simple but powerful. If Hauser can survive the storm of trade rumors and come back stronger, what's stopping this team from doing the same? The Celtics have faced adversity before, but with players like him, they might be rewriting what resilience in Boston truly means. Because when the noise fades and the rumors disappear, the only thing left is heart. And that's something the Celtics have never been short of. The Celtics have never been strangers to noise. Rumors, speculations, bold predictions, they feed off it. And now, with Sam Hauser standing tall after a storm of trade whispers, Boston finds itself at the center of another unexpected twist. What began as a moment of emotional honesty from Hauser during Media Day has now evolved into something bigger, something that could reshape the Celtics roster and their pursuit of another championship. Because deep inside the league's rumor mill, a new proposal is making waves, and this time involves a young forward from the Oklahoma City Thunder. The proposed trade? A deal that would send the Thunder's 22-year-old Ousmane Dieng to Boston in exchange for Hauser, the sharpshooter who became one of the team's most consistent perimeter threats. And suddenly, the air around Boston has grown electric. But why this trade and why now? The Celtics are entering the 2025 to 2026 season under extreme financial pressure, forced to reimagine their depth while staying under the NBA's second apron restrictions. Every dollar counts, every rotation choice matters, and every trade rumor could shift the balance of the franchise. Hauser, on a 4-year, $45 million contract, represents both security and flexibility. For a team like Oklahoma City, chasing back-to-back titles, that shooting skill is pure gold. For Boston, however, the question runs deeper. Would the Celtics risk parting ways with one of their most reliable shooters for a player like Dieng, who brings length, athleticism, and upside, but still has much to prove? That's the tension fueling this entire discussion. Dieng, the French-born forward, was drafted in the first round in 2022 and has shown flashes of brilliance under Mark Daigneault's system. He's 6 feet 10 inches tall, versatile, and capable of switching across multiple positions, but his role in Oklahoma City's crowded rotation has been limited. With Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Chet Holmgren, and Jalen Williams leading the charge, the Thunder are already overloaded with young talent. A move for Hauser would make sense. They need more shooting, more playoff-tested composure, more experience under pressure. But from Boston's perspective, things look different. Trading Hauser would mean more than losing a three-point sniper. It would mean letting go of a player who embodies the team's quiet perseverance, the same energy that carried them through adversity last season. Hauser isn't just a shooter, he's a symbol of the system working, a reminder that Boston's front office can develop overlooked talent into core contributors. And yet, what nobody expected was that this rumor would ignite such a fierce debate behind closed doors. The Celtics coaching staff reportedly admires Dieng's defensive potential, especially in a system that thrives on switching and versatility. Imagine a rotation where Dieng develops under Joe Mazzulla's guidance, learning alongside Jaylen Brown and Jrue Holiday, absorbing the Celtics' championship culture. Could this be the kind of long-term investment that keeps Boston's dynasty window open beyond the current roster's lifespan? But there's another layer. With Jason Tatum still recovering from his Achilles injury, the Celtics need players who can help bridge that gap. Hauser's ability to stretch the floor and create spacing has been essential to keeping Boston's offense fluid. Trading him now, before Tatum's full return, would be a gamble of enormous proportions. Still, Boston has never shied away from bold moves, and Brad Stevens' track record suggests that if there's an opportunity to strengthen the team's long-term foundation, he won't hesitate. The emotional element cannot be ignored either. Hauser's recent comments about loyalty and gratitude struck a chord with fans. "They gave me an opportunity when no one else did," he said. That sentence alone captured the spirit of Boston basketball. So, if this trade were to happen, it wouldn't just be about numbers and contracts, it would be about identity, about who gets to define what loyalty means in a league ruled by transactions. And here's where the curiosity deepens. What if both teams are right? What if the Thunder see Hauser as the missing piece to their repeat dreams, while the Celtics see Dieng as the bridge to their next era? The trade might not even be about the present, but about foresight, timing, and control of the future. Ethan, the most optimistic Celtics fans have to ask, what would Boston look like without Hauser's calm precision from the perimeter? Would Dieng's raw athleticism fill that void, or would it open another? And if this is part of a larger plan, could it mean that another big move is already in the works, hidden behind the scenes of Boston's carefully constructed silence? The Celtics leadership knows what's at stake. They are not in a rebuild, they are in a recalibration, and every decision now has the weight of a championship legacy attached to it. One wrong move could derail momentum, but one right risk could redefine an entire generation of Celtics basketball. Hauser has already proven that loyalty and patience pay off. Dieng, on the other hand, represents the future, unpolished, uncertain, but full of possibility. So, maybe this trade isn't about who wins or loses immediately. Maybe it's about who dares to evolve first. Boston has always believed in evolution through courage. And as the new season approaches, one thing is clear. The Celtics are once again standing on the edge of something unpredictable, something thrilling. Because in Boston, even the rumors have championship potential. Boston has always lived on the edge of greatness and pressure, and this time the tension reaches a new level. After the whispers about Sam Hauser and the proposed deal involving Oklahoma City's young forward Ousmane Dieng, another wave of speculation has erupted, one that could shake the entire NBA landscape. Because now the rumor isn't about depth pieces or rotation players, it's about one of Boston's pillars, the man who has carried the franchise through wars, the symbol of loyalty and intensity, Jaylen Brown. What nobody expected was that the Sacramento Kings, a team known for their fast tempo and bold front office decisions, would suddenly become the center of attention. Reports from league insiders suggest that Sacramento has set its sights on Jaylen Brown in what could become one of the most shocking trades in recent years. The Kings want to make a statement, and they believe Brown is the missing ingredient that could transform them from an exciting playoff team into a true championship contender. But why now? Why go after a player locked into a massive supermax deal worth more than $300 million signed in 2023? The answer lies in the Kings' hunger. After years of irrelevance, they finally tasted the postseason again, and they're no longer satisfied with just participation. De'Aaron Fox has become a leader ready to take the next step. Domantas Sabonis remains an anchor in the paint, and Sacramento's front office knows their window is open. The West is brutal, and standing still means falling behind. For Boston, the situation is far more layered. The Celtics are not looking to rebuild. They are retooling, recalibrating, and staying ready for another deep playoff push. But the idea of moving Brown, even hypothetically, sends shockwaves because it raises one of the hardest questions a franchise can face. How do you balance loyalty with evolution? Brown has given Boston everything: defensive versatility, elite scoring, leadership, but the Celtics front office is constantly analyzing the long-term financial puzzle, especially with Tatum's contract and the new second apron rules tightening flexibility. The speculation surrounding Sacramento's interest, however, isn't necessarily bad news for Celtics fans. It's a sign of how much power and influence Boston holds in the league right now. The Kings want what Boston has built: consistency, star culture, championship mentality. And that's why this rumor feels less like a threat and more like validation. When teams chase your players, it means your system works. Still, one can't ignore the curiosity burning behind this possibility. What if the Celtics did entertain a trade? What kind of package would Sacramento even offer? Would it include young talents like Keegan Murray or multiple first-round picks? Or is this just another test of Boston's resolve, another reminder that the league is watching every move Stevens and his staff make? Jaylen Brown's presence in Boston has never been about stats alone. It's about energy, identity, and the refusal to settle. Every time the Celtics face adversity, Brown is there, diving for loose balls, taking defensive assignments others avoid, hitting clutch mid-range shots when the team needs stability. So the idea of him wearing another jersey feels almost surreal. But then again, this is the NBA, a league where loyalty and strategy constantly collide. And what nobody saw coming is that this rumor might actually ignite Boston in a new way. Sometimes outside pressure has a strange effect on great teams. It tightens their bond, sharpens their focus, and fuels the hunger that turns good teams into dynasties. The Celtics know who they are, and even if the Kings front office is dreaming big, Boston's foundation remains unshakable. Because if there's one thing this franchise has mastered, it's turning doubt into dominance. Jaylen Brown's name may be swirling in trade talks, but inside the locker room, his presence is still that of a warrior preparing for battle. The Celtics don't chase noise, they create it. So as the speculation continues and fans debate every angle, one truth stands out: Boston's story is far from over. The season ahead holds more surprises, more twists, and maybe even more proof that greatness doesn't flinch under pressure. If you believe in this team, hit that like button, subscribe, and smash the hype button, because what's coming next in Boston could rewrite everything we thought we knew about this era of Celtics basketball.